Hi, thank you so much for visiting Picket Fan Studios YouTube channel. My name is Emelie, and in today's video I will share with you how to create a fun card with a cut off front and a pop-up on the inside. I think this card turned out so cute, and I think you will get some inspiration on how you can create something similar, or maybe use some of your Picket Fan Studios projects that you already have on hand to combine with some of the new stuff from the latest release to just create really fun interactive cards like this. So this is one of my most loved way of using products, just taking them and creating something unexpected with them. So this started out, you can see I just stamped out this super cute stamp called Emelie Cracker Christmas Wishes, and you can see that it fits perfectly across an A2 card. And it has this line that these critters are peeking up from, and I thought this would be really fun just to take a scissor, or the coordinating dies you could also use, to just cut around the bottom part of this and have these animals hang off the edge of this card. You could do it the other way around and have them peeking up from like snowy hill or something like that, but I wanted to use the bottom space here because I wanted to create a pop-up on the inside. And since I wanted my colors to really be standing out on my panel, I decided to go for white cardstock, and then I took some ink and Picket Fence blending brushes and went over the top of my panel here just to create a sky. And I wanted this guy to look really cool, since I imagine that this is a really cold day outside for these animals. And I also picked this really nice starry stencil from Picket Fence. And I just made sure that I didn't cover any of the animals that I used. And then I brought out my paper glaze, and this is the ombre, and it's called Polar Ice Layers A. So it's the lightest one, and you can see I'm just using my spatula here and going over my stencil with this yummy paste. And after that, of course, I will dry or clean up all of my supplies and let this dry for a while before I continue to create my card. But I really like how this turned out. I was contemplating using wall colors from that ombre set, but I decided against it, and I just love how that turned out. Super cute, and you can see how I masked that off super quickly. And on the hat here on the piggy, I got some paste, so I'm just using the backside of my tool here to scrape it away. And this is how it looks when it's all ready. And you can see off camera I used this string, and this one is called Scene Building Die String of Lights, and I just love it. And I cut it out of some holographic cardstock. Here I'm just taking a marker and marking off from my card base where I need to cut this off, just to make sure that my panel will not you can see I'm just showing you with a cardstock how much I cut off to make this panel fit on top of my standard A2 sized card base. Using liquid glue and just adhering that flat down, and you can see our animals are peeking over the edge. And that leftover piece that we cut off from this card, I will now use and create our pop-up mechanism inside. So I'm scoring this at every inch. So I'm doing this 5 times. So I get a square when I am creasing this. And these were, I cut them in half, the piece I had left over. But you could have cut it even smaller. You will see here that I will cut it in half once more, because I wanted to hide them behind the letters. I will share you this really nice die here in a second. But I'm adhering this together, and this is creating a square. Just cutting off a little bit of the overhang here. And you can see we have our first mechanism here, and how it will look inside of our card. And I'm doing one more, gluing it together, cutting away the exit on the top, and then we are ready to assemble this. So we are having our two mechanism here in the card, and I cut out Let It Snow, and this is a really large word die that is also part of the latest release from Picket fans. So it's called Let It Snow, and I cut it out of some pink cardstock, and I will hide my neck mechanism behind the letters. So I hope this makes sense, and I will adhere the other one as well. I'm just using 2 here to make it stable. You could have used more or less, but I think this really worked out nicely in the end. So here you can see, and the crease here will line up with the crease on our card panel. So I have glued one to the card, to the pop-up, and then I will use the other one. I hope you understand how this will work. So I'm gluing this to the inside, and then I will glue the other one to the front. So I have one glued to the pop-up, one to the back of the card base, and one to the front, and one is just not glued to anything, and that is what making this move. And for my sentiment on the front, I have a heat embossed sentiment that says Merry Christmas, and that one comes from a really cute stamp set called Good Day Gumdrops. Super sweet card. So here it is, and of course I have forgot the tilly, I think it's called, the dot over the eye. So I adhere it to some packaging that I just cut to size, and I use some adhesive, strong double-sided tape in this case, and I will adhere it to the backside of our eye in the same level as the other letters, so every letter is in place. So I hope that makes sense. It's sort of floating over our eye. And that is our finished project. I hope you liked this video and got inspired to create something similar. I will leave links down below for all of the products that I used in this video. And until next time, I hope you have a really great day.